Hello folks out there in YouTube land, and welcome back to part 2 of my Darkest Dungeon playthrough, in which we will be restarting the game, because the 1.0 launch was this afternoon. If I had known that was going to happen, I wouldn't have started my series, before that happened, but I didn't know it was going to happen so soon. So, here we are starting again, and, I think I'm going to watch the intro cinematic again, because it's fucking... I don't know, I'm actually really excited for this game to be coming out of early access. It's pretty cool. I'll shut up for the cutscene.
To our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth, but we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Oh, man. Yeah, the art is absolutely gorgeous. And the narrator, of course, is, like, the best and the coolest and the strongest. How are the audio levels? The in-game audio was a little bit loud last time, so I've turned that down just a small amount, so hopefully now it's a little bit better balanced. Anyway, yeah, wow. So we're going to be restarting. We're going to be restarting here, starting a new game, because of course, for version 1.0. So when I initially set out to make this series, part of the intention was that it'd serve as kind of a tutorial for new players. I don't know how much of that's going to be true anymore, considering they, What am I doing here? No, I'm malfunctioning. I don't know how much that's going to be true anymore, considering they will have changed the game a bit, but we'll see. Anyway, another cutscene here, which I will also shut up for.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Yeah. Fuck, I love this game. So, as I said, yes, this was initially meant to be more of a tutorial, but they've rebalanced the game a bit with the launch of 1.0. So it is possible things are going to go very badly for us, which would be exciting. I tend to find games like this a little bit too easy. Like, I mean, a little bit easier than I think the experience is intended. I don't want to, like, boast or anything, but this particular style of game tends to come fairly naturally to me. So we probably still won't get fucked up too badly, but, like, possibly more so than initially expected. But it'd be exciting if we did lose terribly. I'm a big fan of that.
Keep to the side path.
Although it might make the series name, the series name might end up being a bit ironic if that does happen, considering I decided to call this series Darkest Dungeon Made Easy.
That all may hear of your arrival.
So if we begin to have extreme problems, then that'll no longer be accurate. But you know, that's okay. That's fine. Welcome to the stream, folks, if there are any new people here yet. I'm Trouble T Cat. I'll be playing some Darkest Dungeon today. Lately I've been streaming Rocksmith a lot, but not this evening / afternoon. Today, Darkest Dungeon, because just super, super excited to have this coming out of early access.
Nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
I wonder if I can turn on subtitles. I don't usually play this game with subtitles, but you know, I may go ahead and just turn these on so that you guys can see what's being said. I don't think it's like, it doesn't... Yeah, we'll have the subtitles on. People like the subtitles.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message.
Actually, I don't like how that blocks the interface.
And their kind is no longer welcome.
That's probably fine without those, but I'll just leave that for the time being. So, I guess here we're gonna try and, like, kill these people. I'm just gonna go ahead and focus down. Actually, no, we'll try and kill the Fusilier first, because he does more damage. Then again, Reynold's only gonna be able to attack Fatty. So I guess we might as well focus down Fatty first. I mean, the Brigand Bloodletter. Yeah, technical terms here. Gotta get it right. 50% stun resist. Fuck it, just hit him in the face.
A decisive pummeling.
Yeah, we're gonna want to get rid of those subtitles. They block the interface more than I'm really a fan of. For the moment, we can deal with it. So, he's dead.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit.
Yeah, I know about corpses.
Inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
So one of the things that was mentioned in the patch notes for the 1.0 release of this game was... apparently they expanded the tutorial a bit, which, I mean, we'll see how that goes. I don't know. We'll see how everything goes. I'm excited to see all the new differences from previous. I'm gonna have Dismas step back here so he can actually use most of his abilities. But yeah, we're not too concerned just at the moment, since this is in fact the sort of tutorial battles. I'm not too worried that we're gonna lose immediately. And you're dead.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them.
Okay, so we're not going to open the chest because the chest is trapped. Actually, we should check. We should check. Because the chest might not be trapped this time. It's usually trapped. Plus 2 speed, minus 20% move resist. Probably not... I can maybe give it to Reynold. Probably not good for either of these characters. Yeah, so this chest is trapped. When you're doing the tutorial in this game, don't open the chest in the last room, because this chest is trapped. You'll notice the name of the chest is Bandit's Trapped Chest. I believe this chest is trapped, so I'm going to choose to have Dismas open it. How the fuck was I supposed to know how to be trapped? This game's bullshit. This isn't fair at all. No. I'm not sure why they do that, like the very first chest you encounter is trapped. I think it's just the game sort of trying to train you. Let you know really early on that bad things can happen when you open boxes, and so you shouldn't necessarily open every box you encounter with wild abandon. So here we are, arriving in our hamlet once again.
Welcome home.
I kind of talked about,
As it is.
you know, what you sort of do in the early few missions in the previous video, so what is this? Get help where you may. Press H. Oh yes, of course.
Bound to them.
Yeah, on the screen you can bring up a little wonderful little help thing. Yeah, I kind of talked about what you do on this first visit to town in the previous video, so I'm not going to do that so much now. We're just going to get through it. Get through these early quests.
You will know the tragic extent of my failings.
And there's a bunch more stuff in here succeed in your first assault on the darkest dungeon. So obviously the biggest, I guess, addition would be... Oh, hey, there's an epilogue as well. I guess the biggest addition with the full version of the game coming out would be the final area, which is the darkest dungeon. Previously, you could never actually visit the darkest dungeon, but obviously in the final version of the game, you can. So as previously, we're going to make sure that we... It looks like they replaced a lot of these, like, these sort of art things. Maybe it's just in my mind. Anyway, you're going to want to upgrade your stagecoach network immediately.
Heroes can be found even here.
And that's all we have to do for now, aside from, of course, hiring Bucky and Rassant. Actually, I'm going to go get a drink. So, I'm going to... Okay, I'm back. I've got my gin and tonic. The last time I was streaming, well, I didn't have any tonic water, so I had a cocktail that I call a Tortanic, which is a gin and gin. You just make it with, like say, 4 parts gin mixed with 4 parts gin.
Your work begins.
So, what's the deal with Darkest Dungeon? I can just go there immediately, but you need level 6 characters, and it's going to be, like, all boss fights, I guess. Okay. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. But we can't do that yet. We do not have level 6 characters at this point in time. Hello, TJ. Welcome to the stream. I know who you are, although you're not a regular on the stream. But yeah, today we're drinking a gin and tonic, not a gin and gin. Which is nice, because gin and tonic is an excellent summer beverage. Excellent summer beverage, and it's fucking hot today. Here in Sydney, it's summer, of course, and it's not, like, too bad, but it's pretty hot outside. Will I get money if I sell this back? Cannot be sold. Okay, no. So this is a new thing. You get some supply items from having certain classes in your party. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna bring a shovel and a couple keys. That should be all we need for this first mission. Probably more food than we need. What is the appeal of gin and tonic? The appeal of gin and tonic is twofold. Firstly, it's delicious, and secondly, it's cold, and it's hot outside. I think gin and tonic, as I said, is like the ultimate summer beverage. That or like a nice cold pale ale or something like that. I think gin and tonic kind of tops it. If the weather's severely hot, like, it's just such a refreshing drink. And also contains lots of alcohol, which is important to me. So here we are. Don't have too much to say about this first dungeon. Generally speaking, this will be pretty easy. And since we already did this in the last part on YouTube, you know, we decided to restart our game because the game coming out, but we already kind of know what's going to happen here. I gotta get rid of those subtitles. That's driving me crazy. I love the script and the narration, but you'll have to actually listen to it. I'm actually going to turn the music down a little bit. Maybe 75%. Yeah, yes. They're much better, like... There's something about the combination that makes them much better than having either in, like, any other way. I don't really need to heal anyone. Fuck it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful combination.
As the fiend falls,
can't really explain why, but it's a good thing we brought along... Oh, it's an unlocked strongbox, so this is probably trapped, but maybe not. Most of the time when it's unlocked, there's a trap, but not always. In this case, we got another key, another shovel, and some gems, which will come in handy, giving us some money later on. Good thing I brought that shovel. Remember, kids, bring a fucking shovel. Bring 2 shovels sometimes, you know? Just don't... Not having a shovel when you need one is actually really bad. You get a lot of stress, and you take some damage if you have to, and your torch goes down. Not having a shovel really sucks badly. We're going to be using a lot of Dismas's Grape Shot Blast. I think I talked about this previously. You will see me using that a lot. It's just a really... If there's actually 3 people for it to hit, it's a really, really efficient attack in terms of the amount of damage you get out of it. It's really nice. May as well just keep doing these party heals since nobody's really hurt. She was hurt a little bit, but, you know.
Such a terrible assault.
There we go. Why couldn't you do that before? Now we have someone to heal. We're going to want to get rid of that corpse, so I'm going to go ahead and use this AoE attack, even though we don't really need to do that much damage to the Skeleton Lord. Do I plan on streaming ED at some point in the future? Yes. The next time I record, I need to record more ED, because I'm out of pre-recorded ED, and when I do that, I will probably stream it, because why not? Although it may make me lag. I play in open, so, I mean, we'll see how that goes. It may or may not work. Good old Patron. I do like tequila. Also, I pretty much like, oh hey, it shows what the effects of their skills are now on the bottom right. That's a nice touch. So hopefully we can actually fucking hit this time. Oh, come on, Buki, Boosie, Buki, whatever your name. The Plague Doctors always have really weird names.
Confidence surges as the
I don't know
enemy
what it is
crumbles.
about. It's like, I guess the parents, like, the baby girl comes out, and they're like, that one looks like it's gonna be a Plague Doctor. We'd better give it a really fucking weird name.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Because obviously, right? I guess if, you know, you're gonna be a Plague
Expedition at
Doctor,
least promises
you want
success.
kind of a strange name, right? It makes sense, I suppose. Keeping our light up as we go into these rooms, just because we want scouting. I'd rather have it low for the loot, but scouting is really, really good to have. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to walk this particular pattern without backtracking. We either need to go up here, and then across here, and then down, and then back up, or over here, up here, over there, and then back. That's unfortunate. You try and minimize backtracking as much as possible, but in this case... Oh, we can probably skip one room, so we might not have to do any backtracking. It usually would, yeah, we should be allowed to skip one, so we won't actually need to backtrack. Because we're on an explorer mission, not a murder mission. I generally prefer missions of murder, but the fact that this will allow us to skip a room is good.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Yeah, those darkness altars. To use a torch on those, you're gonna have a bad time, unless you've got a pretty high level party there. Unless you've got a pretty high level party there. Yeah, well, it rounds it sort of strangely, so that we should be able to skip one room here. In fact, even if it was only like 6 rooms, we'd probably still be able to skip one. In fact, I think even if it was only 4 rooms, which can't happen, but hypothetically, we'd still be able to skip one. Because I've had things before where it was like, there were like 14 rooms and I could skip 2, which I think means it just always rounds so that you can skip more, not less. Yeah, I mean, if you're really pro, you know, and you have a good party loadout, you can maybe take one on with sort of low-ish level characters. I don't know, I've never actually killed one of those guys, I must confess. Like, I fought them, did not end well for me. Dismas is having a bad day, but that's fine. Do I have any bandages? I know, like, I didn't bring any, but I thought I might have picked one up. The answer, though, is no, which is fine. We don't really need them. Dismas, he may look like he's bleeding to death rapidly, but he's actually okay. Would have been better to drag that combat out until I could heal him. But, you know, you live, you learn. Shove a key in here. When you find an heirloom chest, always use a key. You get more if you use a key. And yeah, the monster is just not a fan of Dismas. That's how it tends to go, though. It's pretty common for enemies to focus fire one of your characters. Then again, sometimes they don't when it would really make sense. Like, you'll have a guy on death's door, and the enemy just won't attack him for some reason. So the AI can be kind of weird about when they do and do not focus fire people. Alright, let's do our scouting here, because we should be able to skip one room. Yeah, so this is great. We'll actually skip a fight. Assuming we don't have to backtrack and do that. Unless they changed how it works, we should be able to skip that. Quite confident about that. Ah, fuck you, fucking Reynold. I need fucking... Fine, jerk. Yeah, he's got kleptomaniac, so he... Occasionally, Reynold will just steal the treasure for himself instead of, you know, using it for the betterment of the group like a good crusader would. Bastard. We no longer need to scout anything, so I'm not going to be using any more torches. In fact, before we go into this last room, I'm going to snuff out my torch. Because we've got, like, stress is fine. It's a little bit high on our Vestal, whatever her name is. Yes, I know about the torch. We got another shovel. Yeah. Gonna go ahead and just turn this off. The reason I'm doing that is so that I get more loot from this final battle. Because obviously, right, we want to get as much loot as possible. Also, we will have better crits, but that's not really as important as the loot. Yeah, game, I get it. Okay. So, it may seem like Dismas is screwed here, but he's actually completely fine. He's having a, he's completely fine. We got a crit on him even. He's doing great. Dismas is having a great day. He doesn't mind. He actually loves being killed. It's his favorite thing. I really wish Buki had Boosie, whatever the fuck, had blinding gas, not the noxious blast, because blinding gas is really good, but we'll have to make do without for the moment. I can fix that later. Yeah, just shoot them all. Shoot them all, Dismas. Kill everyone. Can we do enough damage to... So, if we hit with Zealous Accusation, we might kill this Bone Soldier, and also do damage to the Bone Defender. We have a better chance of killing the Bone Soldier if we use Smite. I'm gonna do the Zealous Accusation, because then we can one-shot both of these guys pretty easily. Come on, man, Dismas is having a tough day, and now you're bashing him in the face with your shield. You don't need to be doing that, guy. Why are you being so hard on Dismas? He's just trying to hang out. I'm just gonna keep stacking Plague on these guys. Blight, rather. The Plague Doctor's Plague Grenade is super powerful. 4 damage for 3 rounds at level 1 is really, really good. And yeah, you just stack that on people, and like this guy, the Bone Arbalist, is also already dead. The next time he takes his turn, he's going to die from the Plague. So I no longer need to hit him at all. Just need to kill these front 2 guys, and everything's fine. Could you calm down, Buki? It's not that bad, you're just dying. With that in mind, I'm gonna have Dismas just try and knife this frontliner. And then Reynold can kill off the Bone Soldier. And, as we said, the Arbalist is already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. There he goes. Goodbye, Arbalist. And we're done. But, of course, we're going to open this box with one of our shitloads of keys we have. So, first quest went quite well for us. We only have one character who's on sort of high stress, which is good. We can go home in happiness that things went well for us. We get achievements now, which is cool. I like achievements. We got a Dodge Stone, which... That's actually pretty good. 4 dodge for only losing 1 speed. I find speed to not be a super useful attribute. Basically, you go sooner in the turn order if you have high speed. So it's good for certain characters and in certain situations. But in general, it's going to be okay if the enemy attacks first. And yeah, it's unusual to get as much loot as I just got. But we did have the torch completely snuffed, so it's not that weird.
You are a part of this place.
I'm not sure if it affects chests or if it's only combat. Not actually sure. So, Tavern is now unlocked, Abbey is now unlocked, good. So we are going to, of course, go to the stagecoach and recruit whoever we can, which this is a decent roll. Getting a second Vestal early on is good, because you always want to bring some dedicated healing with you. So that's good. We don't actually need to upgrade our stagecoach again immediately, because we got a good roll there. That'll actually get us through pretty well, even if we get a crappy roll next time we come back to town. This will do good for us. It's not ideal having 2 Hellions, but it's fine. It's not really a problem. So we're going to send... Who are we going to send? We're going to leave Buki on our active list here. I rearranged these people in the town so that I can just see who I'm going to take. You can now go into the embark screen and like assign people prematurely, but I don't like to do it that way. I got in the habit of doing this, so this is what we're staying with. Reynold and one of these 2 Hellions will come with us. So this is a pretty good starting ability set, but not perfect. This is... I don't like Iron Swan very much. Bleed Out's good. Yeah, we'll take Morphew. What is with these people's names? I gotta rename some of these people because I need, like, names that I can actually pronounce. Reynald's fine, because, I mean, you gotta have Reynald. Morphew. I don't really want to call her Morpheus because she's a woman. We gotta do something about Bookie. Let's change Mouncell's name to Consuela because it's vaguely similar, and I'll find that kind of funny. How the hell do you even spell that? Consuela. That looks good to me. That's fine. And Buki we'll just name, Shitlord. That should be fine. Wait, no, wait. Sorry, the Plague Doctor's a woman. There we go. Perfect. No, that's mean. I like the Plague Doctor. How about Linda? Because the previous name started with B, and Linda's a shortening of Belinda that I can actually pronounce, but Belinda makes it sound like she's like someone's grandma. So, we're going to put a couple people in distress relief before we go on the next quest. Actually, we're only going to put Racent in distress relief. We're going to...
The Abbey calls to the faithful.
I'm going to upgrade the Transept and put her in the Transept. That's what I'm going to do. I'm only going to upgrade it once for now. I like to keep about 10,000 gold. Like, each time I start a quest, I like to have about 10,000 gold in reserve. So that's all we're going to do now, unless I decide we can sell... Yeah, I'm going to sell this Swift Cloak, actually. Fuck this Swift Cloak. We will keep the Dodge Stone. Who do we not... Actually, it benefits us if Consuela acts later, because she's the healer, so we want people to be damaged for her to actually heal. So we're going to give her this Dodge Stone, because... in a certain sense, giving her a little bit less speed is actually good for us. I mean, it affects other things, I think, but primarily, you know, it's a turn order. So, yeah. As for Reynald's Kleptomania, I'll probably leave it there for a while. I'm not too worried about it. No, I'd prefer to level up more low-level characters rather than take Dismas again. I will take Dismas with me at some point in the future because I like the Highwaymen. I think that's all we're doing here now. We could put Dismas into... maybe send him to the bar. Not going to spend... So be careful about spending paintings and deeds. I generally will spend crests and busts just without even thinking about it. But when you're upgrading the tavern, and I think the survivalist uses deeds, just be careful, because the deeds and paintings you need to upgrade the guild and the blacksmith, which are the two most important buildings that you're going to need to upgrade. So I'm just going to leave the bar at level 0, put Dismas in there. That should be fine. And we're ready to go, I think. Linda's stress is a little bit higher. I usually like to have everyone at 2 stress or below, so less than 20 stress, but that's fine. That's fine. 30 stress is fine. So we'll bring on Morphew and Consuela. Oh, hey, these are called the Stunrise Stun Set, because every character in this party can get a stun. That's kind of funny. Well, this is the only quest we can actually do, so we're going to do it. It's amazing how easy it is to decide what you want to do when you only have one option. I'm not sure how I feel about these forced supply items thing, because I'd want to sell these back, because I don't really want to bring Anti-Venom or Holy Water with me at this point. They take up inventory space. I mean, you can just drop them once you start the quest, so it's not really a problem. Yeah, I'm just going to bring this. 2 keys, 2 shovels, 6 torches, 12 food. Generally going to be fine for short ruins. I could bring some bandages and medicinal herbs and anti-venom and stuff, but we probably won't need that stuff. So I'm just not going to bring it. And the thing is, even if we do end up feeling like we need it, we'll probably be okay anyway. It'd be unlikely for anything particularly terrible to happen to us on this quest. The ruins are pretty easy, especially, you know, short ruins early on. I actually often find that medium quests are the easiest, not short. Long quests can be hard, but I tend to find that having the one camp in medium makes them a lot easier, and sometimes, as I said, considerably easier than short quests. Because short quests, you can get brutalized on short missions sometimes. You know, it doesn't always go as you'd hope. I guess that kind of goes for the entire game. Doesn't always go as you'd hope. But it's just that kind of thing, you know? Sometimes you get bad luck. So, if I had holy water, which I do, I can put that in the urn and dissolve the ashes. Valuables remain. It seems like kind of a dick move to find these ancient urns and then just dissolve the ashes, but, you know, happens. I'm not going to open that urn, because I don't have any more holy water. Oh, hey, there's a trap there. I already knew that, of course, but it's a good thing the game had that tutorial thing pop up, or I would have forgotten. Ah, now Panda, not TJ, but the same person. I don't even care what you want to call yourself. So, nothing in this room, but of course we want to keep our scout chance up, so you'll often see me using a torch right before I enter a room just to get our scouting up so we can see if there's any traps. This next hallway is going to suck for us. We got 2 fights, and then a fight in the room, plus an obstacle, which means we have to use one of our shovels, but thankfully we brought 2 shovels, which we probably only needed 1, but as I said before, it really sucks not having a shovel. So this is a good roll. This kind of group is really, really easy to kill. We shouldn't expect anything bad to happen to us here at all. We might even be able to do this without taking any damage because we surprised them. These sort of maggot/spider groups are kind of the easiest groups you will get ever. I might just be able to kill both of these guys with a hit from breakthrough. No, I won't kill the spitter, but it might kill the maggot. Or I could use my wicked hack and definitely kill one of them and then have Reynold almost certainly kill. Yeah, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it that way.
As the fiend falls,
because they're surprised, and I know that I'm going to have all my attacks come out first. Yeah, a lot of people have a really hard time with this game, which is one of the reasons I'm making this series, is that you see people saying talking a lot about how hard this game is. When I first played it, I like my very first run, I made a lot of mistakes, particularly in the metagame stuff in terms of what I upgraded, because I just didn't know. Like, for example, I didn't know that it was important to save paintings when I first started. I didn't realize that for a long time. So there's like some stuff like that that I screwed up really badly on my first playthrough, and obviously you learn better strategy for the fights as time goes on. But overall, you know, I never found this game to be that difficult, which was one of the motivating factors for deciding to make some videos of it. Just to try and not to lord over with my incredible skills, but to try and maybe help out people who are having a tough time with the game.
continue the onslaught.
So if I'm not talking enough about strategy, feel free to berate me for that, because the goal is to talk about, you know, the decision making we're doing here. It'd be nice to get scouting after this next room, but I kind of want the loot. Like, everyone has really low stress and almost full health. Yeah, we're just gonna fuck it. We're gonna make this a little bit trickier for us for the more loot.
A glint of gold.
Yeah, you gotta really take care of your party members. And also, yes, that battle with the witch who puts people in the pot is quite difficult. But, I was able to do that without anyone dying. I had good, like, stress luck, though. I think 2 party members had virtues at the time, so that's probably part of why nobody died. Good stress luck. I'm gonna use Bleed Out. So you can actually get a better bleed attack on the Hellion than this one, but this is the one we've got, so I think, maybe... Oh, hey, I didn't realize Adrenaline Rush actually cured her. I had no idea of that. Breakthrough would be a bad move right now, so we want to use either Bleed Out or Wicked Hack. Bleed Out's going to debuff us a little bit, but it will do a lot. Yeah, we'll hit him with Bleed Out. Hopefully the bleed works. The thought process behind each attack is somewhat complicated, unless it's really obvious what I should do. So sometimes you will see me take a moment to stop and talk about the different options I have. And that's just, it's not me trying to explain things for your benefit, that's just how I work through this stuff in my mind. I, you know, look at the abilities and like, what's going to do the most damage? What's going to be the smartest thing here? And hopefully, sort of externalizing that thought process will make it not too opaque, and people will maybe be able to figure out a little bit better how to Now this party order is fine. I don't need to do anything about that. I'm just gonna hit him in the face. I probably could have used Stunning Blow there, but he has 50% stun resist. So there's a good chance it wouldn't have worked. And I figured it was better to just go for the damage. The stun may have actually been a smarter choice. Not sure about that one. So this guy's already dead. And if I hit with Blight again, the other guy will also be already dead. Damn, he resisted. That's unfortunate. Not a big deal. So you'll see me often using the party heal rather than the single heal. That's just because the party heal is more efficient. Assuming everyone is injured, you get more health from the party heal than you do from the one character heal. Yes, that's correct. Characters who take up 2 slots, the AoE attack only will hit both of their slots. But so this guy takes up slot 1 and 2. So if I had an AoE that hits the back 3, it would hit all of them because it hits him on his second slot and then hits these 2 guys as well. But things that hit the first 2 slots, or if he was in the middle 2 slots, etc., only hit him because he just takes up 2 spaces. Which is why I'm not doing Breakthrough, because it's only going to hit 2 of them, not 3 people. Because it hits the first 3, and he's taking up the first 2 slots. Hit him in the face. Or don't hit him in the face. Fucking useless hellion. We're going to try for the stun this time. Just, you know, it might work. Might work. Oh, nice. Didn't resist. Stuns are really, really powerful. Stuns are really, really super useful. That's why there's that stun resist buff, because if you could actually chain stun people, that would be absurd. So these guys are both already dead. I'm gonna just... I'm gonna Noxious Blast the Bloodletter. That's what's gonna make the most sense there. Get the most damage possible out of this turn.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And you were dead. And we're done. Hopefully we get some decent loot. Yeah. 4 crests, 2 busts, not much gold, but, you know, it's okay. That's okay. And we get scouting anyway, even though it's black as pitch. That's nice. What's our goal? 100% of room battles. So unfortunately, we're going to have to visit every single room in this dungeon. This is actually pretty bad, having those 2 fights there. We get 2 more hall fights, which is... That's a lot of hall fights for a short mission, plus... Room battle... Oh, so that's... I never quite got the difference between this and this. I didn't understand that the green one was room battle with Curio and the red one was just battle. Because the room Curios don't register in my mind the same way chests do. So the nice thing about this is we no longer ever need to scout again. The only reason I'll be using torches here is if I get worried about what will happen to me. Because monsters do more damage and are more accurate with no torch. So if I'm worried that we're all going to die before a battle, I will use torches. But right now, despite Linda having really low health, I'm not too concerned. I think this is going to be fine. Yes, Blight and Bleed can both damage corpses. And if somebody dies while bleeding, the corpse keeps the bleed on it. And it'll eventually destroy the corpse if it does enough damage. Both Blight and Bleed do that, which is nice. So I'm going to... I haven't been using Disorienting Blast as much as I probably should. Reordering the enemy party can be really useful. I'm still not going to use it here, however. The only reason I'm not using it here is because Plague Grenade is just so strong in terms of damage. This is a pretty tough party to encounter in a hallway battle. Arbalists do a lot of damage, and the Bone Courtiers do a lot of stress damage, so this is kind of a rough roll for us. We may end up torching before that next room battle. In terms of doing the most damage possible, Breakthrough is going to be the most efficient here, or I could... See, so the thing is, I will do more damage overall if I use Breakthrough, but eliminating enemies entirely from the fight is often more advantageous, just because then they never get to attack again. Like, if I use this, all of these 3 guys will be damaged, but they'll all still be alive. Whereas, if I just use my Wicked Hack on this Bone Rabble, he'll be dead. And he can't attack me anymore, because he's dead. Whereas, if he was still there, he would be able to attack me, even though the other people would be injured, you know. So see there, even though Linda was on death's door, I'm still using the party heal, because it gives me the most possible healing. This is likely to one-shot the Bone Soldier, so we'll do it. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Probably should have stunned. I mean, all you have to do to get someone off death's door is heal them by 1. There's no need to get them... And the other thing is like, having them at 4 instead of 1 doesn't really matter. Most attacks that hit you are going to do 4 damage at least, so you're still going to be on death's door, again, if anything hits you. The most important thing is just not leaving people on death's door, not necessarily getting their HP back up high. Of course, repeatedly going to death's door will get your stress higher, but we can handle that at the moment. That's okay. It's not something we need to be super worried about. So this fight's over. The Arbalist is already dead. He just hasn't realized it yet. We get one more heal out of Consuelo, and now the Arbalist is gonna die. Fuck these corpses, I guess. That's all I can really do. I could use food on Linda, but I usually don't use food to heal unless I'm quite near the end of a quest. Using food to heal is very inefficient. And sometimes you get bad RNG and you'll get, like, you will repeatedly have hunger. There's a reason I bring 12 food on these short quests, and it's because it's unlikely, but I have had to eat 3 times on a short quest before. Although at this point, it probably won't happen. I'm going to save it anyway, just because it's not very efficient as healing. However, I'm thinking I might use some torches before we go into this next room. Might use some torches. Everyone's kind of low. If I use some torches, I might be able to actually come out of this next fight with more health left than when I entered it. Which would, you know, set us up for the rest of the adventure nicely. Yeah, I'm going to use 4 whole torches, go to Radiant Light. I tend to either, when I enter a room, I tend to always be either on Radiant Light or on Pitch Black, assuming I have enough torches for Radiant Light. Just because the things in between... I don't know, I like to commit wholly to either I'm going to try and scout or make this fight easier for me, or I'm going to try and commit to... you know, we're going to get loot. I don't like doing things sort of halfway. So that's really unlucky. That's actually really, really unlucky. But that's okay. We didn't really need her. That's actually quite bad for us. I wasn't expecting that to happen. We should be okay, though, nonetheless. So, we can no longer use Plague Grenade on Linda, because if I swap Linda with the Vestal won't be able to heal anymore, which is obviously not an option. So Plague Grenade is right out. Now we gotta choose between, do we want to do Incision for the bleed damage? Or do we want to use Disorienting Blast? I think what we're gonna want to do here is play the enemy's order. So I'm gonna be doing some Disorienting Blast action here. Let's try and move this Cultist Acolyte up a bit so that we get... Yeah, there we go, that's good. Wait, Disorienting Blast can stun now? Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Disorienting Blast didn't used to be able to stun people. That is new. That is actually really, really super cool. So we're going to be focusing on stuns quite a bit here. Because if we get attacked a lot, we're all going to die, basically. So keeping people stunned becomes pretty important. We're also going to want to get this Bone Arbalist as close to us as possible and keep him close to us, because the Bone Arbalist has really, really strong attacks from the 3rd and 4th rank, but in the 1st and 2nd ranks he can't do a whole lot. Because there are only 3 party members left now, Divine Grace 1 is going to be generally... Wait, no, this does 3 to 6, and this does 3 to 5. So Divine Comfort 1, even with only 3 party members, is still more efficient in terms of total healing. So we're gonna keep using that. It really depends whether I'd prefer taking out the back 2 spaces or the front runners. It really depends on the specific fight and the situation. As you saw in this case, I decided it was really important to move those back guys to the front so that they couldn't do their strong attacks, and so that I could hit them better. We're just going to try and kill this Bone Arbalist immediately. Shit. We needed good luck for that to have actually killed. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Because the Bone Arbalist is the most dangerous character here in terms of HP damage, which at the moment is something we are worried about. So I'm going to shuffle the Bone Arbalist again. This could go wrong. Hopefully he moves forward, not backwards. When you shuffle, they can sometimes go the opposite direction to what you want. Thankfully this time he came towards us. When do you use Judgment, if ever? I can't remember which one Judgment is. Is Judgment the one that heals the Vestal when you use it? I don't always remember the names of abilities. Let's go ahead and Zealous Accusation. Damn it, I'm getting such bad luck on this killing this Bone Arbalist. Yeah, Judgment. So, the times that I use Judgment is if I would use Divine Grace on the Vestal, because the Vestal needs to be healed, I use Judgment instead. Otherwise, I don't use Judgment, generally speaking. When I can get the guild, she's going to have the stun. I think it's called Dazzling Light, the stun she can do from range. And I'll use that on her quite a bit when nobody needs to be healed. But I only use Judgment if she needs healing anyway, and there's nobody better to heal. So, I don't really want to waste, like, an attack on... I want to finish this Bone Arbalist off with another Zealous Accusation, rather than wasting a whole attack on him. So I'm going to kill the Cultist Acolyte. I'm going to hit the Cultist Acolyte with Incision. There, get that. This is going pretty well for us, considering we're a man down. It is hard to have good things happen when you're missing a character. Shit. Well, there is my plan of using Zealous Accusation. Ah, wait. What is Hand of Light, even? I've never actually used this ability even once before. So it's a debuff, and it buffs her a little bit. I'm just going to use it to kill this Bone Arbalist, though, because... Fuck this Bone Arbalist. I'm sick of his shit. I don't want him to attack me ever again. Fix the party order. Probably would have been better to have the Vestal move there, or heal, one or the other. Probably not what we did, in retrospect. But that's okay. We're going to get out of this fight without a problem, and then I'm going to assess whether or not we want to abandon the quest, or if we should, So I'm going to use the stronger heal because Linda is bleeding. And you don't want the bleeding to take them down to death's door, because then they can really easily be killed by an enemy attack. If somebody's bleeding and on death's door, I will generally use the single heal to get more healing on that character. Whereas in this case, I'm more likely to use the party heal because he's not bleeding or anything, so he'll probably be okay. Let's just sort of waiting a bit. Hopefully we can kill this Cultist Brawler. Alright, now we just have to worry about this one remaining Bone Soldier. Everything should be fine. Everything should be fine. You know, we lost... It's very rare for me to lose a character this early on in a playthrough. That was really bad luck to have her die to the very first, like, possible death blow. Usually characters survive that. They have a better chance to survive than not when they're at death's door, but we had bad luck there. It's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Thankfully, not deciding to kill Morphew, and Morphew not being killed by the bleeding. Can't eat in combat. I'm pretty sure in an old version of the game you could eat in combat to heal yourself, but you can't do that anymore. I don't have any bandages. So we're just gonna hope that Linda doesn't die. Whoa, living on a prayer. Okay.
A trifling victory.
So that went well for us.
Nonetheless.
Sort of. So, we'll have to fight in the hall, and then we will have to fight again. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to fail this quest, because I don't see that as being super likely, but I am going to go and see what these two curios are. Hopefully we don't spawn. Sometimes you spawn fights, like additional hall fights when you move around that weren't there before. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And yeah, I'm going to have Reynold. We don't have holy water anymore. In that case, I'm going to have the Vestal just look at this holy fountain. Sometimes good things happen. Oh, nice. Just ruby and gold. That's okay. At least we got a decent amount of money out of this quest, even though we're ultimately going to fail. So yeah, I'm going to walk back and just try and get these two curios before we leave. At this point, I will be using some food. In fact, we're not going to need to eat twice at this point, right? This is just in case we run into, like, a hall battle. that wasn't there before, so we can definitely get these additional curios. Actually, we might be able to pull this one off if we go for the risky play. You know, we might make it. Altar of Light. I really wish we had Holy Water. We can't really pick up much else. It'd be a waste to use a torch. Let's see what we get. Okay, so she's got extra damage, which is kind of useless on the way I build the Vestal anyway, kind of useless. A little bit of loot, which we can pick up, thankfully. We'll go into the next room and then make our final decision about what we're actually going to do here. Okay. I still have a shovel, right? Yeah, I still have a shovel. Well, I reckon I can definitely beat the Hall battle, because it'll probably be a pretty weak group. Probably. Should probably get the order here fixed before we go into it, though. So we'll fight the Hall battle, and we'll get that curio, and then we will decide whether or not we actually want to do this final battle, because we can always backtrack out of there and just, well, we don't even have to. We can always abandon the quest. This is not the role I was hoping for. Do I want to try and beat this, or do I just want to try and retreat? It's really hard having only 3 people. I think we're just going to retreat out of here.
The sin is not in being outmatched, but in failing to recognize it.
So, it's okay to abandon quests. It's actually fine. If this playthrough goes on for a long time, you'll see me abandon... Not, like, you try to avoid it, right? But if you look at your options and you kind of go, look, we're probably not going to... You know, it's probably not going to end well for us if we keep trying to push here. Then don't be afraid to abandon. Discretion is the better part of valor. We got a shitload of achievements just then. And it's really unfortunate that we... in town we'll never drink. That is fucked up. We gotta cure that as soon as possible. Discretion is always the better part of valor.
In time, you will know the tragic extent
so that's okay.
of my failings.
It's okay, we got the blacksmith and the guild unlocked now. The guild and the blacksmith are the 2 most important buildings you're going to have, basically, because they allow you to upgrade your heroes and actually make them stronger. Leveling up does not do much for you if you don't use the guild and blacksmith to upgrade your heroes. It does a little bit. Heroes have better stress resistance when they're at a higher level of resolve. I think that might be it, though. Oh, and they get more health, I think, as well. Their HP increases, and like a few other things, but the biggest benefits you get are going to be from actually, you know, getting upgrades for them. So, we want to think, before we choose who we're going to hire, we want to think about our setup for the next one. So we're going to have Dismas and Rassant and Doi. Dismas is best in rank 2, Rassant's going to be at the back. I think Dismas can be rank 2 or rank 3. How does he set up? Yeah, so Dismas can be rank 2 or rank 3. Either of those is fine. Which means, like, the Houndmaster? I'm thinking the Houndmaster. Panda really wants me to get the Jester because he just wants to see somebody make the Jester viable. But I'm thinking the Houndmaster. I know I can take all 3 of them, but I don't necessarily want all 3 of them. I mean, I may as well. Actually, considering I can always fire them later if I don't use them. Literally no reason not to, now that you mention it.
Man and his faithful beast. A bond forged by battle and bloodshed.
I need to end the part for YouTube. This part has gone super long. Goodbye, YouTube folks. I'll see you in the next part.